This week on Steel Horse Thunder,
I am fat and sassy, full of wine, and not the cheap.
we head out to a special ride for a great cause.
I started organizing it 3 years after I lost my dad to cancer, and been doing it ever since.
Then it's time to test ride a motorcycle that I've never ridden before.
Very strange sensation. Keep wanting to reach for the clutch, not one there.
All that and much more this week on Steel Horse Thunder.
That's pretty wild.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
Hey, I'm with Vince at Renegade Classics, 96 in Allisonville Road. Vince, what's going on this year?
Well, we tried for the summer season, we tried to expand on more popular lines. We've increased our accessories. Kiriakin's got a couple new lines we're carrying, increased our helmet volume, and increased our boots. So all the stuff that people seem to want most of the summer, we try to get more of for you.
Right on. And you guys are still hosting a lot of rides and allowing rides to start here and
Absolutely.
end here.
Yeah, we'll host anyone's event, and just keep an eye on your calendar or on our Facebook page, and we'll keep those events posted so people can follow along.
Dude, I know things are going good, and I know you got some other things going on, and man, it's going to be another good year.
It is. It's going to be good. Starting off great already.
No doubt. And remember, when you come in here, make sure you let them know Steel Horse Thunder sent you.
You have been injured in an automobile collision, and suddenly your vocabulary has been expanded to include terms totally unfamiliar to you. We know accidents can be overwhelming to the injured victims and their families. You know you can put your trust in the familiar faces of Leidendorf Law. We take care of you and your family so that you can focus on recovering from your injuries. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are.
Mother Nature is my playground, and when I hit the trail, I drive hard. And Mother Nature, she hits back even harder. Line-X protects my vehicle inside and out, guaranteed to withstand even the harshest of elements. I've learned that anything worth protecting is worth overprotecting. Because when protection matters most, I Line-X it.
Hey, we put the pontoon boat away, and we came out this morning. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. We're here in Franklin, Indiana. Cindy, what's going on?
This is the 8th annual Cancer Sex Ride, and my goodness, it turned out great. You know why? Because everybody else canceled. But, you know, because of the sunshine out today and the rain gone, there are so many bikes out here, and, you know, cancer does suck.
That it does. We're going to go talk to Cecilia, the organizer of this ride. This is their 8th year, so let's see what's changed over the last few years. Cecilia, we're here at the Cancer Sucks Ride. Now, this is your 8th annual. Have you been involved in this from the beginning?
I have. I started organizing it 3 years after I lost my dad to cancer, and been doing it ever since.
And how, okay, is this one of the colder ones you've ever done?
It is. It is. One other time we had a really wet, rainy day, so we're not going to have that today, I see. Yeah. But it is a little chilly.
It's chilly, but I'm telling you what, as long as your roads aren't flooded, and I know you guys actually went out again just to double check all the roads, because that's the biggest problem right now we're having is the roads are all flooded out. Obviously, the sun is out now. It's going to be a nice ride. If you got your black leathers on, you know, of course, you're here in a T-shirt, making me look like a real pussy wearing a jacket out here.
There's a reason. I figure if I have on my warm stuff on now, I'm going to be cold on the bike, so I got to stay cool now.
Very smart thinking. Very smart thinking. So, what keeps bringing you back every year to say, you know what, we need to do it again this year?
The loss of my dad, and try not to get emotional. He was my hero. And we have lots of people every year just keep getting diagnosed with cancer, and I'm so tired of it. I'm also a team captain for the Relay for Life of Franklin. So the money that we raise here actually goes towards that cause. And Franklin Relay for Life raises like $150,000 for cancer research every year. So this money goes towards that.
That's awesome. And I'm telling you, I am surprised to see how many bikes have showed up here so far. And I know we still got quite a ways before kickstands are up. So it's obviously you guys have done something pretty good to make all these riders come back. I mean, have you had some of the riders, individual riders that have been here all 8 years?
Oh yeah, we've had, the core group of us have been here from the beginning, and we've met a lot of friends throughout the years that say they wouldn't miss it no matter what the weather. So we didn't know them before we started doing this, and I appreciate every single one of them.
Well, I know a lot of the people I talked to, obviously rides were canceled, and and I talked to you, and you're like, oh no, we've already checked the roads again. We're good. The roads aren't flooded, so we're good. And we're riding, whether it's raining or not, we're riding. And that was my first thought was, you know what, cancer's not waiting on anybody, so we can't wait on the weather. And I just thought it was really cool that you were going to still come out here and still do this thing.
Thank you very much. That's exactly what I said. Cancer doesn't care if it's sun shining or raining or snowing, and I can't either. I've got to just dress warmer and hope it doesn't rain. So that's all I can do.
Well, thank you so much for what you are doing. Obviously, cancer, it does affect everybody. Obviously, this the horse TV show was affected, greatly by it with Steve Reeves, coming down with cancer. So it affects everybody. I don't know of one person now that you can talk to that says, oh no, it hasn't affected me or my family or anything else. It is an epidemic proportion, and I'm just thankful for people like you guys that are out here doing everything you can to see this come to an end.
All right. Thank you very much for coming, and we appreciate you guys too.
So, Kim, you're here at this ride, Cancer Sucks, because it does. It does. So tell me, you are fighting cancer still to this day. Can you tell me about what you've had to go through?
Yeah, I've had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma since 2009, also thyroid cancer, battling both at the same time. Been through 30 rounds of radiation, chemotherapy. It's a struggle. Cancer sucks, and we're here to give back and to support the Cancer Society, and Cecilia does a great job with the ride every year. And out of 8 rides, I think I've only missed 2 because I was going through chemotherapy. So I'm excited to be here and support cancer.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
This is such a needed ride because cancer is so prevalent in the world today. We just see it all the time, and cancer it sucks. I've got a lot of friends that have it. I just read a statistic on it, and it said that 39.3% of men and women will be diagnosed in their lifetime. That's almost 40% of people, and that was a 2012 study. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing to you, even as a cancer patient?
It is. Cancer doesn't discriminate. We support Riley. Cancer it's evil, it's toxic, and it just doesn't discriminate. And it could happen to you, me, our family, friends, and we just have to do what we can to support the Cancer Society and always give back.
All right, Romy, we're here at the 8th annual Cancer Sucks ride, and you guys pulled in here. Beautiful machine you come pulling in on. I understand you had a pretty busy morning, though.
Yeah, I was at work early this morning in Indy. Got off work at 9:30, rode to Knightstown, jumped on the bike, grabbed the wife, and headed this way. So set the cruise at about 85 and, did an hour ride in.
And this is on a day where most rides are canceled. And obviously we got sunshine now, but half the roads are flooded out. We got floods going on everywhere. And yet here you went through all that just to get here for this ride.
Yeah, it's a ride we've done for several years. Cecilia that puts it on, her brother and I work together, and we've got friends that you were talking to over here earlier. Kim's beat cancer, I believe, 3 different times now, so we always try to make it down to it. It's a great cause.
Dude, that's just amazing. I mean, because it's not a hop, skip, and a jump for you guys. Now, is that how you got your name, Romy?
No, actually, that is my given name. I mean, named after my father. It's just an oddball name. Don't know where my grandmother and anybody came up with it. They never could tell me.
I like it because obviously you put a lot of miles on your bike, and I understand you picked this bike today simply because of the weather.
Yeah, I've got a Vulcan Classic at home. Doesn't have everything on the front end of it. So today with the weather, just nice to have the fairings.
It's just nice to have the fairings. That's an understatement right there. Well, dude, have fun, man. I can't get over that what you went through today just to get here to do this ride, and I just want to thank you.
Not a problem at all. Like I say, we try to get out when we can.
All right, Lisa, how you doing today?
I am fat and sassy, full of wine, and not the cheap.
I love it.
Hey, that's the way you gotta be. Take it day by day.
You do. You have to take it day by day. You told me that you started out with breast cancer.
They found it early. They found it with a new 3D mammogram things, and it was kind of deep. So they went ahead before we did the mastectomy, and they did the genetic testing to make sure it wasn't genetic. Because if it was, we were gonna do them both. But we only had to do one, and I'm through with all my treatments now. I'm still a little bit weak and stuff, but we got the reconstruction going on, and hopefully in a few weeks it'll be done. Well, not a few weeks. To me, it's a few weeks, but it's a process.
So when did you find out that you had cancer?
I found out it was, I want to say, the middle of June of this last year. Yeah, then my doctor, Dr. Dunkel out here at Johnson County, he kicked ass. He got his crew going on it, and I mean they were on it. And if it wasn't for them, you know, I don't think I would have ever have been able to get done that fast.
So how did you find out that you had breast cancer?
The way I found out, I credit one of my customers, because the customers were coming in, and one special customer come in, and she had cancer a few years back and started a thing called Save the Tatas. And when her husband come in one day and he was without her, he said it come back, it was kind of strong. And it was just funny how something clicked in my head, and the next week I made an appointment, and it just went from there. And I just happened to be one of those people that wound up with breast cancer. And
wow.
Didn't know it was that early.
So you didn't even have any kind of symptom signs, nothing?
No symptoms, sign, clues, or nothing. And when you go to as far as you go to where you have those, sometimes it's a little bit more extreme, I found out, than what I have. So I've been preaching since, and I work at Athens over here by Kroger. I've been preaching to everybody I see, any females, or any males that have women in their lives that love them. Get them mammograms, get checked out. The earlier you know, knowledge is power, and you can get it taken care of. It's a process, but it can be done.
That's awesome. Now you said that they did genetic testing.
Yep, they did genetic testing to make sure it didn't go through my family. If it had been through my family, then I would have had a double mastectomy. But since it wasn't genetic, they say it was random. I just had the one mastectomy, and now we're in the middle of the reconstructive process and stuff like that. I'm done with my treatments. Amen. Hallelujah. But I have an awesome crew behind me. I mean, I have always had an awesome sis and her husband and Jenny and Chris and all of them, everybody, and I couldn't name the list of people that's been behind me. My daughters, my kids, everybody.
The support means everything.
It does. And if you're somebody that has it and you don't have that support, call me, get a hold of me. If you don't have insurance, get a hold of the Little Red Door. The Little Red Door will get you set up with your mammograms, your pap smear for free. You just got to get a hold of them, and they'll do them at Franklin, anywhere else you want to go.
Hey, we're very thankful for the sunshine and thankful for the survivors that we got to meet out here today. Cindy, what'd you think?
I think that everybody needs to remember to go out and get a mammogram, man or female, because both can have it. It's very important. I'm just glad that we have our survivors and people can go and get checked and find out what's going on.
At Hangout of Flames, we've added a lot to our showroom. We've added lots of biker gear, lots of lighting, a lot of accessories. We've added Parts Unlimited and drag specialties to our unlimited supply of parts we can get for you.
Here at Hangout of Flames, we let you come in the back, show you things about your bike that you didn't know, teach you about them, and work with you on your bikes. We work on metric standards, Yamaha, Harley, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, everything and anything you have. It's a great place to come in and get your bike worked on, or even come in and hang out.
The attorneys at Leidendorf Law have over 100 years of experience in personal injury and wrongful death litigation. Call us at Leidendorf Law. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are.
How would you describe, in a nutshell, what is Texas Corral?
Texas Corral is more than a restaurant. It's actually it's a Texas-themed dining experience. It's good for the whole family if you want to come and bring everyone, or if you just want to come in and have a beer. It's totally fine either way.
And just like in Texas, everything is bigger here.
Absolutely. We have big beers, big samplers, but low prices.
So whether you're taking the family out to dinner or if you just finished riding the back roads of beautiful southern Indiana with your buddies on the motorcycles, Texas Corral is the place to be. 2 great locations.
So Cindy, you're a female rider. You're here today, and this bike is absolutely beautiful. Can you tell me about your bike?
This is my Angel. I have had it since 2009. It's a 2005 X or 1200 XL.
That's a bike.
It's a Harley. It's my first Harley.
So have you done a lot of things to it?
I have added all of the Live to Ride and Ride to Live decal or the emblems. I replaced everything that I could with chrome, including my oil filter. The first time I wrecked it, I got the chrome forks. And the second time I wrecked it, I got the chrome.
All right, Cindy, tell me about what happened on one of those wrecks you were telling me about.
I was sitting at the stoplight on Washington Street, and a guy hit me from the rear, and I thought I had popped my clutch and dropped it. And I got up and started to go, and I looked, and it wouldn't go, and I tried again, it wouldn't go, and he goes, "I hit you." I said, "Oh!" And I looked at the back, and my rear fender was all up underneath my tire. So I had to have it towed to my mechanic. And
well, thank goodness that you didn't get hurt on it and you didn't pop the clutch.
Right.
Well, how long have you been riding?
I've been riding since about 1970. I had a girlfriend put me on her Honda and say, "Turn this and let go of that." And I did, and I went around the block in low gear.
Wow. Did you ever go through a riding course?
No, I haven't. I have several friends that have, and if my new husband decides to ride, I'll probably go with him.
Well, that would be good to be support for him. Well, I love your bike, and glad to see you today. Have great miles on this bike.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Motorcycle riders want the freedom of the open road. Unfortunately, other motorists often do not give riders the proper attention the law requires. Call us at Leidendorf Law. Like family, because we are.
Don't look now. Crambo's isn't just paint. It's your one-stop shop for motorcycle gear, parts, and service. Crambo's, voted the Indy A-List #1 motorcycle shop 2 years running, has expanded with the state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment for tuning your fuel-injected Harley and a new paint facility to make your bike stand out from all the others. Crambo's also has a new retail area complete with leather, chrome, audio, and all your parts and service needs. Crambo's, voted #1 for a reason.
This is a standard lawyer commercial. This is a dramatic shot of me walking down the hallway. This is a stage scene of me talking to clients, even though they're not actual clients. This is the closing shot in my office, where I say my catchphrase, looking professional and confident. Look, all lawyer commercials are the same, but not all lawyers are the same. Leidendorf Law has been involved in the motorcycle community for over 35 years, with many more years to come. Leidendorf Law, like family, because we are.
Hey, we're up here at Dreyer Honda South. Steve, I know you have a bike here that you want us to ride. This is a little different. Can you tell me in a nutshell what's different about this bike?
This bike is pretty unique. It's a CTX 700. It's the DCT model, dual clutch transmission. Essentially, it's an automatic. It's a 6-speed automatic. So it's probably a little bit different than anything you've ridden. There's no clutch lever, as you see, or no shift lever. It's fun though, and it's easy. I think you'll like it. People have a resistance to it because it doesn't shift normally, but it actually is. It's like F1 race car technology. It isn't slow. It's not a poor performer. It's pretty cool. So I think you'll like it. It also has anti-lock brakes, which is neat. So
well, good.
Yeah, ride it and see what you think. I'd like to hear what you say.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, now I press the D. I'm in gear, and I just go. That's pretty wild. And it goes.
strange sensation. Keep wanting to reach for the clutch, not one there. But you can actually feel it change gears and hear it change gears. You can lean it pretty good. Tell you what, an automatic would be pretty handy when you're stuck in traffic. It's just such a strange sensation. It's a great bike. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, this is a good bike, especially if you're not comfortable with changing gears. Very relaxing, comfortable bike to ride.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I think. Where's the pegs? You know, I gotta say, this bike is really comfortable. I didn't think it would be, but it is. The handle's really good. Needs a little more windshield for me. You know, the shifting is so different in it, but I kind of like it because you don't have to think about what gear you're in. It's just, oh my gosh, I love this bike. Oh no, I'm serious. I really did like it.
Well, it's a little different. Cindy and I both had a chance to ride this bike. Cindy, let me start with you. What did you think about this bike?
I loved it. I didn't think I would. When I first got on it and took off, it was like, I don't know. But just riding it, I didn't have to think. I didn't have to worry about changing gears, which was, I mean, kind of nice for me. I didn't think I'd like it. I love the way it rode. The seat is awesome. My butt didn't hurt at all. It's a big seat. The height, it's a little tall for me, but it's not too tall. I would definitely have to have a bigger windshield because you know how I love my windshields.
What about the brakes?
I like the brakes. They were nice, especially when I don't have very many in my car. So to get on this, it was like, yeah, I like having brakes because they do have the anti-lock brake. I liked it.
I like the bike. Now, just like you were saying, it's a little tall for you. It's obviously a little short for me. But that being said, I was surprised that I could still be comfortable on it. I was a little surprised that, you know, we take a little jaunt there on the interstate. I was running 80 miles an hour without any problem. I think what I like about it, even though it's an automatic, it's you still hear it changing gears. You feel it changing gears. So it's not quite that weird sensation of like a big rubber band where you just, you know, it just kind of, you feel it, it takes off. It's
got plenty of power.
I myself said it would be a perfect bike, especially whether you've rode all your life or you're a new rider, for older. As you get older, maybe, you know, you don't quite have the coordination or the strength, and you may want to downsize on a bike. If you're riding a big Goldwing or you're riding a big Harley, you know, dresser or whatever, and maybe it's just getting too much. This to me is a perfect, because I know a lot of people that say, well, I'm going to go to a three-wheeler or a trike or something like that because they're just too big. To me, this is a perfect bike for someone like that. And again, there's no clutch, there's no shifting gears. It does all that for you. You feel it as you let off the throttle. You feel it downshift on its own. I thought it was really good. I was very impressed with it.
It is a perfect bike for anybody who doesn't want to have to think about changing those gears, because that's what I think a lot of people think about. You got to learn how to do all that, and to not have to do that, I think that means a lot.
And how long have you been riding?
For 20 years.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like you're an inexperienced rider. You're an experienced rider, and yet you have no issue whatsoever hopping on something like this.
Not at all.
Well, Steve, first of all, Cindy and I have never been able to do this where we both ride the same bike.
Cool.
And obviously there's a little bit of a contrast between our sides, so I think this is a great thing. I was very pleasantly surprised about this motorcycle. It certainly wasn't the scooter. It was a real motorcycle.
Right.
And I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
Can you give me a little bit of the specs on this bike?
It's a 700cc twin cylinder engine. It actually has a 6-speed transmission, and Honda calls it a dual clutch transmission, but essentially it's automatic. So it shifts through 6 gears up and down as it needs based on your input, with the throttle and load and things like that. So it's actually a very high-tech engine. It's not a scooter. It has performance. This bike also has anti-lock brakes with this transmission system. As you see, there's no clutch lever, or no gear shift lever. You have an emergency brake, more like you would on a car or something, so that when you go up, park it, you can lock it so it doesn't roll. But actually, very neat motorcycle. Everybody that rides them likes them. There's a little bit of a people compare it to a scooter. It's not a motorcycle, and there's a little bit of a conflict that people have when somebody wants one, like, you ought to ride, you ought to be able to shift gears. Well, it's as you guys know now, it's different, but it is a motorcycle, and it's got nice performance.
I think with the automatic, as far as the fact that you still hear it change gears, you still feel it change gears. But I know for me, I made the comment. Actually, Cindy was saying the same thing. It's very relaxing, and you wouldn't think, as long as we've been riding and everything else, that using a clutch and changing gears, you kind of do it without thinking. But yet, when you get on one you don't have to do all that with, it's like, wow, this is really relaxing. I mean, you can actually just kind of look around, and it's just a much more relaxing. And for my size, it still fit me okay. I could still sit in it. It was comfortable. The seat's big enough. I didn't feel like I was all bottomed out and scraping the ground or anything like that.
Right.
What about you?
No, I thought it was a great bike. I absolutely loved it. I told him I took a detour, and I ended up doing a 90-degree turn. It turns on a dime. I mean, it's amazing. It's really a great bike. I love it.
They have the same version here with the 6-speed manual transmission, so they look identical. But this one's pretty unique, and you're going to see more and more of these vehicles as time goes on, as becomes a little more accepted, by the mainstream.
I think they should be accepted.
Well, and it's funny because, you have those that, they go to Sturgis, well, if you trailer out there, you're not a real biker.
Right,
I rode mine, and I got to tell you, I was one of those guys.
Right.
If I'm not riding it, I am not trailing. There's no way I'm putting my bike on a trailer. At my age now, and with my time schedule now, I have no problem throwing my bike on a trailer and getting somewhere where I can go spend, 3 or 4 days riding, and then be able to do a power drive all the way home in a truck.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah.
And now I feel the same way, with the motorcycle. Whether it's automatic or whether it's manual, whatever. I mean, it's a motorcycle, man, and that was a lot of fun to ride. Hey, that's gonna do it for us this week on Steel Horse Thunder.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook.
And remember, it's not what you ride,
it's that you ride.
Steel Horse is brought to you by Leidendorf Law, with over 60 years experience in motorcycle and automotive injury cases.
Hey, we're thankful for the beautiful sunshine that we've got now. And what am I saying? Stinking Beamers. That's going to do it for us this week. Hang on.